In a world brimming with mysteries and untold stories, there are myths that have persisted for centuries. Welcome back to Top Rack Facts, where today, we're debunking 10 popular historical myths that have shaped our understanding of the past. So, sit back, relax, and prepare to have your mind blown. I'm your guide on this journey into the unknown. And today, we're not just exploring facts. We're debunking myths that have been accepted as truth for far too long. Myth 1. The pyramids were built by slaves. Our journey begins in ancient Egypt. It's a common belief that the pyramids were built by slaves, enduring harsh conditions under the whips of their masters. However, recent archaeological discoveries have painted a different picture. Excavations at Giza have uncovered the tombs of pyramid builders, revealing that they were not slaves but paid laborers. These workers were well-fed and lived in a nearby village with their families. The notion of slaves building the pyramids likely stems from misinterpretations of ancient texts and modern assumptions. The reality is that the construction of these monumental structures was a massive, state-organized effort involving skilled laborers. Myth 2. Viking helmets had horns. Next, we sail to the era of the Vikings. The image of fierce Norse warriors donning horned helmets is iconic, but it's purely a modern fabrication. There is no archaeological evidence to support the idea that Vikings wore helmets with horns. This myth likely originated in the 19th century when costume designers for Wagner's operas added horns to Viking helmets to make them appear more dramatic. Actual Viking helmets that have been discovered are simple and functional, designed for protection in battle, not for intimidation. The horned helmet image has been perpetuated by popular culture, but it has no basis in historical fact. Myth 3. The Earth was flat in the Middle Ages. Many believe that during the Middle Ages, people thought the Earth was flat. In reality, the spherical shape of the Earth was well known among educated individuals. Ancient Greek scholars like Pythagoras and Aristotle provided evidence of a round Earth long before the Middle Ages. By the time of the medieval period, this knowledge was preserved and taught in universities across Europe. The misconception that people believed in a flat Earth likely comes from a few vocal proponents of the flat Earth theory and was later exaggerated by writers in the 19th century to illustrate the so-called Dark Ages. Medieval scholars, however, were well aware of our planet's true shape. Myth 4. Napoleon was extremely short. Napoleon Bonaparte is often depicted as a very short man, but this portrayal is misleading. Historical records indicate that Napoleon was around 5 feet 7, which was average height for a Frenchman of his time. The myth of his short stature may have originated from a misunderstanding of French and English measurements. The French pied differed from the English foot, leading to confusion about his true height. Additionally, British propaganda often caricatured Napoleon as short to belittle him. Despite this myth, Napoleon's leadership and strategic prowess were larger than life, earning him a prominent place in history. Myth 5. Cleopatra was Egyptian. Cleopatra VII, often depicted as the quintessential Egyptian queen, was actually of Macedonian Greek descent. She belonged to the Ptolemaic dynasty, which was established by Ptolemy I Soter, a general under Alexander the Great. The Ptolemies ruled Egypt after Alexander's death, and Cleopatra was the last in this line. Despite her Greek heritage, Cleopatra embraced Egyptian culture and even learned the Egyptian language, setting her apart from her predecessors. Her political acumen and alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony have overshadowed her true ethnic background. Cleopatra's story is a blend of Greek and Egyptian influences, making her a unique figure in history. Myth 6. Gladiators fought to the death. Gladiatorial combat in ancient Rome is often thought to be a fight to the death, with only one survivor emerging from the arena. While deadly fights did occur, the reality was more complex. Gladiators were valuable investments for their owners, and many bouts were well regulated to ensure the fighter's survival. They often fought with blunted weapons, and matches could end in a draw or with one fighter conceding defeat. Gladiators were highly trained professionals, and some even achieved celebrity status, garnering fan followings and sponsorships. The idea of constant death matches is more a product of sensationalized accounts and modern depictions than historical fact. Myth 7. Columbus discovered America. Christopher Columbus is credited with discovering America in 1492, but this narrative oversimplifies history. When Columbus landed in the Bahamas, the Americas were already inhabited by diverse and advanced indigenous civilizations. Moreover, Norse explorers like Leif Erikson had reached North America around 1000 AD, long before Columbus. Erikson's settlement in Vinland, part of modern-day Newfoundland, is well documented in Norse sagas and supported by archaeological evidence. Columbus's voyages did, however, initiate widespread contact between Europe and the Americas, leading to significant cultural and biological exchanges. Nonetheless, the story of discovery is much more nuanced than Columbus alone. Myth 8. Witches were burned at the stake in Salem. The Salem witch trials are infamous for their hysteria and executions, but contrary to popular belief, none of the accused were burned at the stake. In the American colonies, hanging was the standard method of execution for witchcraft. During the trials in 1692, 19 people were hanged, and one man, Giles Corey, was pressed to death with heavy stones. The myth of burning at the stake may stem from European practices, where burning was used for heretics and witches. Salem's tragic events were marked by fear, superstition, and injustice, but the method of execution was different from the dramatic images often portrayed. Myth 9. Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." Marie Antoinette is often attributed with the phrase, "Let them eat cake," during the French Revolution, symbolizing her supposed disregard for the poor. However, there is no historical evidence that she ever uttered these words. The phrase first appeared in the writings of Jean-Jacques Rousseau when Marie Antoinette was just a child. It was likely attributed to her later by revolutionary propagandists seeking to vilify the monarchy. Marie Antoinette's real words and actions were complex, and while she lived a life of luxury, she was not the heartless figure this myth suggests. The phrase remains a powerful symbol of disconnect, but its true origins lie elsewhere. Myth 10. Great Wall of China is visible from space. Finally, the Great Wall of China is often said to be visible from space, a testament to its grandeur. In reality, it's barely visible to the naked eye from low Earth orbit without aid. The wall's narrow width, combined with the natural coloration that blends with the surrounding landscape, makes it difficult to distinguish. Astronauts have confirmed that while the Great Wall is an impressive feat of engineering, many other man-made structures are more easily visible from space, such as city lights and major highways. This myth persists as a symbol of the wall's significance, even if the reality is less spectacular. From ancient civilizations to historical figures, today's journey has debunked some of the most persistent myths in history. But the quest for knowledge never ends. What other myths will we uncover next? Join us next time on Top Rack Facts to find out. If you enjoyed this voyage into the unknown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, knowledge is the key to unlocking the mysteries of our universe. Until next time, keep seeking the truth.